Good day, dear colleague. I report Cyber Physical Internet of Things system for correct determinations of initial boundary conditions of a digital twin of a high residential building that was destroyed as a result of ICONS2026 missile hitting it and exploding. By Yuri Kaluch, Institute of Telecommunication and Global Information Space of the National Academy of Science of Ukraine, Alexander Duchik, Institute of Telecommunication and Global Information Space of the National Academy of Science of Ukraine, Andrei Zakrevsky, National University Yuri Kondratyuk Poltava Polytechnic, Artem Duldaev, Ukrainian State University of Science and Technologies, Pridniprovskaya State Academy of Civil Engineering and Architectural Build, Anton Duldaev, Ukrainian State University of Science and Technologies, Pridniprovskaya State Academy of Civil Engineering and Architectural Build, Yaroslav Berchun, Institute of Telecommunication and Global Information Space of the National Academy of Science of Ukraine, Taras Kaluch, State Enterprise, the International Broadcasting Multimedia Platform of Ukraine, and Victoria Berchun, Institute of Telecommunication and Global Information Space of the National Academy of Science on Ukraine. On the second slide, you can see the high residential buildings that was destroyed. This is a building which will be investigated. This is a Russian missiles ICONS2026. Correct determinations of initial boundary conditions of the digital twins of a high residential building that was destroyed as a result of ICONS2026 missiles hitting it and exploding. It consists from 4 steps. First, visual inspection. Second, operational geodetic observations. Third, non-destructive testing and building structures. And fourth, vibrations of measurements. In the first steps, visual inspections, you can see building constructions of high residential buildings were destroyed by missiles attack. The destructions and deformations of pylon in axis 2F, 3F on the 20th floor were part of destroyed floor slab. About the 21st floor was hanging. You can see absence of some wall on this floor. And this is some rings which will support with top plate. On the second building, you can see damage to the pylon in the axis of G2 at the 19th floor level. You can see the cracks on the pylon. After visual inspections, we conducted the geodetic observations. On this slide, you can see results of determining deviations from the conditional horizontal plane and isofields of deviations of the 25th floor of the building on Lobanovsky Avenue 6A as April 26, 2022. On the right side, you can see isoline different area. This some vertical deformations. In yellow color, you can see deformations, vertical deformations from 0 to 15 millimeters. In green color, you can see deformations, vertical deformations from 15 to 100 millimeters. In blue area, you can see vertical deformations on this plate from 100 to 115 millimeters. In red area, you can see deformations from 150 to 200 millimeters. In these parts, you can see deformations from 200 to 215 millimeters. After conducting the geodetic observations, we conduct non-destructive testing of building structures. The research task is to determine by ultrasonic methods the actual compressive strengths of a concrete in pylons that were subjected to explosive impact on floors 1821. The strength of concrete in structures was determined by the ultrasonic method. In each structure, 10 measurements of ultrasonic propagation time were made through the ribs. The calculations of concrete strength was performed according to the basic calibration dependence time strength, established according to the statistical data of comparative mechanical and ultrasonic tests of concrete of different classes. As a result of generalizations of the results of mechanical and ultrasonic tests, it was established the average value of concrete strength in the surface pylons of floors 1821 in axis 14E are in the range from 16.6 megapascal to 33.6 megapascal. This indicates that the actual strength of concrete in controlled pylons is lower than the design strength for concrete of class Ukrainian class C2530. The average strength is 38 megapascal. If you compare the 16 value with 38 value, you can see this is a slowdown approximately 50% from this value. This demonstrated the destructive effort from the missiles attack, where we can see a lot of different cracks in building constructions of these high residential buildings. This a lot of cracks is a result of missiles attack, and the conclusions from this, the slowdown of technical conditions of this building and need for reconstructions, these walls and different plates and building elements of this building. The next stage, the vibration measurements. On this photo, you can see destroyed parts of a building and this is a graph which demonstrated the sensors displayed it on 22nd floor, 18th floor, and first floor. And we conducted the vibration measurements on this area. The vibration acceleration sensors arranged during the 27th story building inspections at 6A Lobanovsky Avenue with damage on floor 1821st. Accelerometer are connected at 22nd, 16th, and 1st floors. On this graph, you can see amplitude frequency spectra of building vibrations in the x directions at the 3 points according to scheme 2 at level of first floor at 6A Lobanovsky Avenue. The building was damaged within 1821st floor. You pay attention, please, this natural frequency 2.3 approximately, and with natural frequency 13.7 frequency. And in this graph, you can see amplitude frequency spectra of vibrations of a building at 6B Lobanovsky Avenue in the direction X at 3 points according to scheme 2 at level 1. Analog of a building at 6A Lobanovsky Avenue. In this graph, you can see more high frequency, 2.9 and 17, and previous 13.7, 2.4, and compare with 2.9 and 17. you can see the slowdown the natural frequency of a building on the first floor, which the results of destruction process in whole buildings. The cracks exist in all floor of these buildings, and this is a very bad prognostic results. On this slide, you can see structures that need to be restored and replaced on a 19th, 20th, and 22nd floor level. This is a parts fully absent in this floor and must be fully recovered. And this is a parts maybe conducted some reconstructions works, not full. And this is a parts absent, and this parts fully absent that might be replaced. Conclusions. Visual inspections of elevated structure and other elements when have sign damage of destructions. The destructions occurred with the collapse of the corner parts of a building in axis 1-3 EK within the range from 18 to 32 floors. The loading, bearing, and enclosing structure with the range from 17 to 27 floors were significantly damaged. Second, as a result of engineering and geodetic measurements, it was established that in the area of a building damaged by the explosions, deviations from the conditional horizontal plane of a 25th floors reach 241 millimeters. The maximum deviations are concentrated in the area of damage. The relative difference in vertical displacements is 9 times higher than the permissible ones. Third, the average value of concrete strength in pylons near the destruction zone of a floor 18-21 are in the range of 16.6 MPa to 33.6 MPa. The actual strength of concrete is lower than design 138.0 MPa. The decrease in the actual strength of a concrete could have occurred due to damage to the concrete structure from the impact of structures during the explosions and vibrations of a frame due to numerous breakage of the reinforcement of a structure, impacts from the fall and large fragments, etc. 4. The comparisons of natural abrasions frequency in the damaged and undamaged buildings allow to conclude that there are cracks in the civil structure of a building at 6A Lobanovskaya Avenue because of a missile impact. The natural abrasion frequency of 6A buildings is 25-35% low than the 6B buildings, which indirectly indicates the developments of a building structure and material destructions in the building and presence of internal cracks and inhomogeneous due to missiles impact. And all these results will involve in the program LIRA, which conducted the calculation of stress deformed states of these high residential buildings. And in summary, we obtained the corrected initial boundary conditions of a digital twin, which will be the base for the mathematical modeling of stress deformed states. And we, due to this correctness determinations of these initial boundary conditions, they may opportunity to correct conducted calculation of stress deformed states of this building. We not involve the initial projected data. We involve all corrected data, this damage after missiles attack. And this is the main idea of my report. Thank you for your attention.